Mercedes' search for a replacement for star driver Lewis Hamilton may have finally come to an end, as a multiple-time world champion has his eye on the empty seat from 2025 onwards. The team was left in shock after Hamilton announced his transfer to Ferrari, and rumours have constantly been spreading about who would replace him next year. Recent reports suggest that 42-year-old Fernando Alonso is interested in the vacant, empty seat, and he has already started aligning himself to race with Mercedes in 2025. The two-time world champion showed great merit last year after he announced a shocking switch to Aston Martin from Alpine. His start to the season saw him faster in pace than any non-Red Bull car, and he was scoring podiums in almost every race. Expectations from the Spaniard were low, as fans assumed his age would be a factor that would slow him down. But Alonso proved everyone wrong and showed them that he could still perform at his peak. His experience also helped Aston Martin develop a car that could compete at the front, as the team was previously in the middle of the pack at best. But with Alonso's help, and by taking aspects from the Red Bull of the previous year, Aston Martin was suddenly getting podiums left and right. Alonso was back in the spotlight after not performing up to his level at Alpine. By the end of the season, Alonso had 206 points, and he was only 28 points behind Hamilton, even though the Aston Martin lost its performance edge after the summer break. Alonso was mainly fed up with the way the team was developing the car, and he went from praising the AMR23 to talking about how difficult it was to drive. The performance and drivability of the car became so bad that the team had to go back to the original chassis they used at the start of the season, which improved their standing a little. Alonso's contract with Aston Martin is due to expire this year, and though the team wants to extend his time there, Alonso might be looking for a spot elsewhere. His decision would depend on how well Aston Martin is able to perform, and whether or not last year was just luck being on their side. If Alonso feels his talents are being lost in Aston Martin, he would quickly consider leaving, as, at 42 years of age, he doesn't have much more time left in the sport. This brings us to the current empty seat on the grid at the Silver Arrows. According to early reports, right as Hamilton announced his departure from Mercedes, team principal Toto Wolff contacted Alonso's inner circle to talk about the future. This move would definitely involve the Spaniard's manager Flavio Briatore, who played a crucial role in helping the driver secure the Aston Martin seat at the end of the 2022 season. He has strong connections within the paddock, and facilitating the deal between Alonso and Mercedes would be an effortless task for him. Alonso also fits the role Hamilton played perfectly, as he is the most experienced driver on the grid and has won 2 championships as well. If his performance at Aston Martin is anything to go by, the Silver Arrows won't be feeling the effects of Hamilton leaving one bit, as Alonso has shown he can be just as quick. Recently, while talking to the German publication Motorsport magazine, Toto Wolff exclaimed that anything can happen in Formula One, as shown by Hamilton's announcement. He said, "I wouldn't have thought that Lewis would tell me that he was going to drive for Ferrari next year. That's why I wouldn't rule anything out in Formula One." He stated that he always wants to find the best possible duo, but you can never be sure with the ever-changing market. And if at some point a driver says he doesn't want to drive anymore, there is little remedy for it. That's why I wouldn't rule anything out, no one, at any time. We will always strive to have the best possible driver combination in our car and look for each and every one of these conversations. While he did not name anyone, Wolff talked about respecting current contracts and how drivers always want the best team. You can see how quickly a situation can change. At the same time, of course, we respect contracts that exist. Drivers will always want to sit in the fastest car. Alonso will definitely be a top candidate for Mercedes' search for a driver. Still, the team has also stated that their focus is currently on the 2024 season, so we might not expect an official announcement before the summer break. Wolff talked about the team's priorities in a press conference held after the day Hamilton's departure was announced. "First, our main focus is on the 2024 season now," he said. "We've got 2 excellent drivers. We have Lewis in his final year at Mercedes and George eager to go back in the car and perform. We need to put a car on the track that has more pace than last year's car, and we know how difficult it will be to compete not only with Red Bull, but possibly the other ones. With all the Lewis discussion, something that has not been talked enough is George. George has the potential to be the next lead driver in the team. He's of the generation of Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc and some of the others. I couldn't wish for a better new team leader when Lewis leaves, no doubt about that. We've such a solid foundation, such a quick and talented and intelligent guy in a car that we just need to take the right choice for the second driver, the second seat. But another potential driver has also been sparking debates around Formula One. Michael Schumacher's son, Mick Schumacher, has claimed he held discussions with Toto Wolff about taking over Hamilton's seat in 2025. Currently, Mick holds the spot for the third driver for the team, and the 24-year-old is holding hope that he can return to the sport next year. Mick raced in Formula One for 2 years with Haas in 2021 and 2022, but being a part of the slowest car on the grid, he could not showcase his talents to the full extent. He won the 2020 Formula 2 Drivers' Championship and throughout his career has shown that his role in racing is not because his father was a 7-time world champion, but because he himself is quick around the track as well. He has told Toto Wolff about his interest in joining Mercedes and publicly talked about what he hopes for the future of his career. It is, of course, a position that brings with it a lot of pressure, he told Sport D, but in terms of feeling, I feel I'm up to it. We will certainly be able to talk a little more in the next few days. My chance to return is there. I don't know how big it is yet. I think it will also depend a bit on performance. Hopefully, I can recommend myself. I think a few people out there know how good I am. Schumacher could also be a viable candidate for the empty seat, and he deserves an opportunity to drive for a better team at the very least. He still has a long career ahead of him, and having experience with the team as the third driver means he knows the insides of the team already. However, it all depends on how well he is able to perform on the simulator, and even on track if Mercedes lets him drive the car during free practice sessions. When asked whether Wolff would want an experienced driver behind the steering wheel of the Silver Arrow next year, or a rookie, Wolff explained that the team had not decided on this yet and wanted to wait to examine the situation regarding Russell first. And I haven't really properly reflected with the team on where we want to go, from rookie to very experienced, because I don't know yet what is the best for any potential driver that's coming in or for the team going forward. We will have to see which direction Mercedes decides to take as the 2024 season unfolds. Currently, all eyes are on Mercedes' car and pre-season testing to see whether the team is able to live up to the claims they have made before. George Russell's performance will also be monitored, as the team will need to decide whether to choose a senior driver to lead Russell or to give rein to Russell and choose a rookie driver. Who do you think the next driver for Mercedes will be? Will it be a rookie or a more experienced driver? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. As always, remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Formula One news.